Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited that you are here today. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that when new episodes drop, you do not miss out. So today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for probably the last week or so. And I really felt the need to talk about this today because I think everyone has experienced this. And I know I've experienced it personally, and I'm sure that you have probably experienced it as well. And I want to talk about how dangerous this behavior is. And what I want to talk about is the dangers of people pleasing. And we all probably have experienced a time where we wanted to make someone like us. We wanted to feel accepted. And there have been many times throughout my life, when dealing with different relationships and friendships where I felt it was necessary for me to be a certain way because I felt that that was what was going to be accepting. So when you think of that and you put yourself in different circumstances and different situations where you have this person here, you have another person here, you have another person here, and each of those people, they're different. So they have different opinions, they have different outlooks, different perceptions of you. However, you try to fit yourself in all of those different boxes. And in the end, you begin to lose your identity. Because what you're doing is you're trying to be everything to everybody and you're being nothing to yourself. And that completely contradicts how God wants us to operate in our life and what He has purposed us to do. So today what I want to do is I want to share with you some ways to overcome people pleasing. Because it's dangerous and it's something that we have to really be conscious of. Because I know for me and the things that I've experienced over my life, there have been times when I felt like I wasn't enough. And I felt like I needed to act a certain way or I needed to be a certain way around certain people so that I could feel like that I was accepted. And I feel like that I wanted everyone to like me. And one of the other ways this shows up, and it may be subtle, with the simple fact that when people ask you to do something, you're like, yes, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll be able to do that. I'll be there. I'll be able to take on this extra project. Yes, I want to be a part of that. Yes, I want to be invited to that. And what happens is the more you say yes to those things, the more you include yourself in everything, just trying to be a people pleaser because you don't want to say no to people, you begin to be overburdened and you get more and more frustrated. And then at some point you begin to complain because you're like, oh my gosh, I've taken on so many things. Like I don't have time to do things that I need to do for myself. And this just clearly just illustrates the point of how dangerous being a people pleaser can be. Because when you say yes to everything and you're trying to be everything and be everywhere, you are taking away the opportunity to really focus in on what God really wants you to do. He didn't tell you or call you to be all of these places all of the time and saying yes, 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 yes to all these different things. The main thing that we need to be concerned with is working on how we can please God, and then He'll begin to open up doors and give us opportunities and connect us with people who we know that are going to be aligned with the purpose that He has for our life. So today I want to go through some ways that you can overcome this need to want to be a people pleaser. And the first one is we have to renew our mind. We have to understand that this is a constant, everyday circumstance that we have to involve ourselves in. We have to be able to get in the Word every single day and make sure that we're continuing to renew our mind. When we renew our mind, we get to have the reminders that God has for us about who we are and who we are in Him and where we get our strength from. And this takes away our urge to want to make sure that people are accepting of us. Now, I don't want to, make you think that you shouldn't be a supportive person or you shouldn't be a person that's going to be there for others. But I want to be clear that you really understand that it's important to know that when you renew your mind, you begin to build up that confidence that you need. And then you realize you won't have to feel the guilt when it's time for you to say no, because you know this is something that I don't need to involve myself in. And I need to make sure that I am aligned with what God wants me to do and not trying to be a people pleaser, because that is going to exhaust me in the things that I need to do. And next is, we need to make sure that we're seeking God's approval and not the applause of others. I know a lot of us thrive on getting pats on the back about every work that we do or everything that I do. And, I know I've read the book, The Love Language, and it talks about the words of affirmation. Some people thrive off of the words of affirmation, and there's nothing wrong with people giving you accolades or saying, hey, you're doing a good job. But we have to make sure that we don't get so caught up in that, and we have to actually have that to be able to thrive. We have to understand that, we have to seek God's approval in everything that we do. And that when people do give us those words of affirmation, if that is our love language, then we have to understand that, this is just a confirmation of what God has already filled me with. So when you're renewing your mind, you're getting filled with His love, and He gives you His words of affirmation so that you understand that everything that you are through Him, it is a perfect gift. So when people come and they affirm you, and people come and they give you applause, it's just the continued confirmation of what God has already put on the inside of you and has already told you who you are. And lastly, what I want to say is that you have to be at peace with who God created you to be. And also be at peace with the fact that some people just won't be your cup of tea, and some people just won't like you regardless to what you try to do. And that is okay. So you taking the steps every day to continue to renew your mind, continue to make sure that you're seeking God in all things, and you're making sure that you're so filled up with what He has to offer that the fact that someone doesn't like you will not cause you to even get off track with what you already know that you've been destined to become. So it's important to understand that you cannot focus your time and attention on trying to make sure that you're pleasing people, because people are going to continue to have their own opinions and have their own views of who they think you should be. But you have to be confident in who God created you to be. So the next time you start to maybe fill your mind with doubt, or fill your mind with uneasiness, or feel disappointed because of what someone may have said to you, or someone didn't respond the way that you wanted them to respond, or someone didn't give you the praise that you felt you needed because of something that you accomplished, go back to number one and continue to renew your mind and open up the opportunities for God to be able to speak to you and show you how fearfully and wonderfully made you are, so that you can continue to pursue the purpose that He has destined for you. So again, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.